Okay, hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good day to everyone. Okay, so welcome back to our class. So for today's class, we're going to look into new chapter, okay, which is chapter 1, variation. Okay, so I hope you already download your textbook, okay, and your module, okay, so we can do it together for today's class. Okay, so chapter 1, variation. So in this chapter, basically you will learn about three types of variation. Okay, direct variation, inverse variation, and combined variation. Okay, so basically in direct variation, you will also learn joint variation. Okay, so in today's class, we're going to focus on this first subtopic, 1.1 direct variation. Okay, are you ready? So let's get started. Okay, so the first subtopic, so the first learning standard for today's lesson, okay, is explain the meaning of direct variation. Okay, what is the meaning of direct variation? Okay, direct variation explain the relation between two variables such that when variables y increase, then x also increase at the same time, at the same rate, and vice versa. The relation can be written as y varies directly as x. Okay, what does it mean by varies directly? Okay, so in this situation, if you have two variables, okay, you have y and x. Okay, if your y variables increases, so your x is also increase with the same rate and vice versa. Faham kalau y itu meningkat, x juga meningkat. Kalau y meningkat 50%, x also increase 50%. If your y is decreased by 2%, for example, so x also decreased by 2%. That, what does it mean by same rate? Okay, boleh? Okay, so let's look at the first example. Okay, the total wage of a part-time worker as a promoter varies directly. Ni dia punya clue, varies directly as the number of hours he works. Okay, state the change on. Okay, so over here, the total wage, if the number of working hours is double. So this is the rate. Okay, rate dia double. So apa akan jadi dengan gajinya kalau jumlah jam bekerja dia double, dua kali? So what can we say? Okay, so you can write it as, okay, A, your answer is, okay, the total wage is double. Okay, if the working hours is double, so your wage, your gaji is also double. Okay, that is what it means with the same rate. Okay, B, the total wage if the working hours decreases by 40%. Okay, so if the working hours decrease by 40%, we know that the wage also will be decreased by 40%. Okay, so macam mana nak tulis? So you can write it as the total wage decreases 40%. Macam tu saja. Sebab dia direct varies kan? Okay. C, the number of working hours, okay, if the total wage is half, separuh. Okay. If your wage is half, kalau gaji awak separuh, it means your working time also separuh. Boleh So you can write it as the number of working hours is half. Boleh kalau gaji separuh, masa bekerja pun separuh. Kalau gaji double, maksudnya masa bekerja pun double. Kenapa? Because we know that, look over here. Okay, if varies directly, dia akan same rate lah. If increase, it will be increased at the same rate. Okay. So, for self-practice 1.1a, okay, so I want you to try it yourself. Okay, the same as the example 1. Okay, next, okay, let's look at number 2. We try it together. Okay, Puan Wardina, okay, wants to buy green beans selling at RMX per kilogram. State the price if Puan Wardina buys 500 gram of green beans, okay, and 2 kilogram of green beans. Okay, sekarang macam mana kita nak buat? Okay, di sini the problem is, okay, RMX per kilogram. So we know that kilogram is 1000 gram. Okay, so how can we write the answer for the first situation? 500 grams. So we know that 500 gram is half of 1 kilogram. So the price should be half also. So how can we write? Okay, the price decreases half of RMX per kilogram. Okay, ataupun apa-apa ayat yang memberi maksud yang sama lah. Okay, next B, 2 kg. 2 kg is double. Okay, so how can we write? Okay, the price increase 2 times of RMX per kg, ataupun apa-apa ayat yang memberi maksud yang sama. Okay, okay, next, the table below shows the relation between the time needed and the time of bottles of jam produced in a factory. Okay, for example, 5 minutes 10 bottles, 10 minutes 20 bottles, 15 minutes 30 bottles, 20 minutes 40 bottles, 25 minutes 50 bottles. Okay, state the change in the number of bottles of jam produced when the time is double. So when the time is double, we know that the jam is also double. Okay, so we can write it as the number of jam is doubled. Okay, B, when the time is half, kalau masa dipotong separuh, so hasil dia pun separuh, kan? Okay, so the number of jam is half. Boleh? Mudah saja, kan? Pada direct variation. Okay, next. Okay, let's look over here. What is the relation between two variables for a direct variation? Okay, so the learning standard is determine the relation between two variables for a direct variation. For the first subtopic, you will learn about two things: direct variation and joint variation. So this is the first part, direct variation. Okay, for a direct variation, y varies directly as x can be written as, okay, so there are two ways for you to write this variation. So the first one is variation relation. Okay, in the relation form, okay, you can write it as y varies directly as x. Okay, and then if you want to convert this form into equation form, which is what you do, you change these symbols into equal sign. Okay, this equal sign will come together with k. Okay, ingat, bila awak tukar simbol ini menjadi sama dengan itu akan sentiasa pairing dengan k. K itu mesti sentiasa ada bersama sama dengan. Okay, maksud dia macam ni. Asal dia contoh y varies directly as x. Okay, this is we know a relation form. Okay, nak tukar ke equation form, simbol itu tadi awak kena ubah menjadi sama dengan. Ingat, sama dengan dia kena sentiasa pair dengan K. K, X. Boleh? Itu apa yang awak kena buat kalau nak ubah from relation form into the equation form. Okay, jangan lupa. Okay, so we look at the second example. Okay. Okay. A toy car moves from a state of rest. Okay, daripada dia berhenti, dia bergerak. Okay. The distance traveled by the car Y change with time T as shown in the table below. Okay, so ni table dia. Okay, determine whether Y varies directly as T or T square. Hence, write the relation in the variation form. Okay, so for example, this table. Okay, so what you need to do, so look at the question. Determine whether Y varies directly as T or T square. So it means, okay, either Y varies directly as T or Y varies directly as T square. So you need to construct a table, okay, which consists of, okay, T, Y, and then first you need to divide Y divided by T in order to get this first part. Okay, we want to look either Y varies directly as T or Y over T square. Y varies directly as T square. Okay, so when you divide Y over T, so 14 divided by 2, you will get 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7. Constant value of 7. And then when you divide Y over T square, okay, you will get 3.5, 1.75, 1.17, 0.08, 0.70, 0.58, which is this value is not constant. So if it not constant, okay, so it means it does not varies directly. Okay, so over here we can conclude that, okay, Y varies directly as T. Okay, and Y is not varies directly as T square because it is not constant. Okay, boleh? Kalau awak bahagi dapat constant, itu varies directly maksud dia. Kalau dapat tak constant, so it is not varies directly. Okay, boleh? Clear? Okay. Now let's look at example 3. Okay. By drawing the graph of Y against X, okay, determine whether Y varies directly as X. Dia tanya, adakah Y varies directly as X? Okay, so kita cuba lukis graph. Okay, so macam biasalah. Okay, Y exists, X exists. Okay, so over here you can use appropriate scale. Okay, so you see for Y 1.5, 2.0, 2.5. So what is the appropriate scale? So you can use 0.5 lah. Okay, so for example over here 0.5, 1.0, 1.5, 2.0, 2.5 for example. Okay, or okay, next X 0.4, 0.8, 1.2. You can use 0.4 or 0.2, the same thing. So for example, I use 0.2. So 0.2, 0.4, 0.6, 0.8, 1.0, 1.2, 1.4, and so on. Okay, next you need to plot. Okay, so the first pair is 0.4, 1.5. So 0.4, 1.5 is over here. Okay, and then 0.8, 2.0 is over here. 2.5, 1.2 is over here. Okay, next you need to connect the dot until you get y-intercept. Okay, like that. Okay, although it is a straight line, but the line intersect at y-axis, okay, at 1.0, not 0.0. So in this case, we can say that y is not varies directly as x. Okay, because if y varies directly as s, okay, this straight line should intersect 0. Okay, kalau kita nak katakan y varies directly as x, okay, garis ini mesti melalui asalan 0. Dia mesti potong 0. Kalau dia tak potong 0, dia bukan varies directly. Although itu adalah garis lurus. Okay, ingat itu. Okay, so let's try next question. Okay, by drawing the graph of y against x square, okay, determine whether y varies directly as x square. So kita kena buatlah paksi y dan paksi x square. Okay, so x square belum ada kan, so kita buat. Okay, so x square, 2 square 4, 3 square 9. Okay, 4 square 16, 5 square 25. Okay, so macam biasa kita buat dua garis, two axes. Okay, so this is y, this is x square. So try to think of appropriate scale. Okay, for example, I'm using for y, you have until 50, right? So for example, I use 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Cukup. Okay, and then for x square, you have 4, 9, 16, 25. For example, I use 5, 5, 10. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay, so let's plot. So first one, you have 4, 8. 4, 8 is maybe around here. Okay, and then 9, 18, 9, 18 maybe here. Okay, 16, 32 maybe here. Okay, and then 50, 25 is here. Okay, maybe you can use a bigger scale. Okay, not a problem. And then you try to connect the dot. Okay, so if you plot properly, okay, actually this line will intersect at center 0. Okay, at the origin. Okay, so if the line passes through the origin, okay, then you can conclude y is varies directly as x square. Ingat okay, dia mesti melalui asalan, mesti melalui origin 0, okay, in order for it to be varies directly. Okay, boleh? Clear? Okay, and then let's do together example 4. Okay, so I want you to focus for example 4. Okay, usually the question will come out like this. Okay, so it is given that m is 0.8 and n is 0.125. Express m in terms of n if m varies directly as n. Okay, so first part, what you need to do, so kena tulis dulu. Okay, and we know that m is varies directly as n. So that is the first step. Okay, the next step, okay, you need to change this relation form into equation form. Okay, so what you need to do, okay, macam tadi saya kata, okay, m, so these symbols, you need to convert it into equal sign. And equal sign is always come together with k. So k, n. Okay, so you know that this k is actually a constant. So you need to find that value first. Find the value of k by substituting these two values into the equation. So from here you know that m is 0.8. So 0.8 is equals to k, n is 0.125. So k is equals to 0.8 divided by 0.125, and your answer is 6.4. Okay, and then you change back the value of k into the previous equation. So it will become m is equals to 6.4 n. So this is your answer. So m varies directly as n. M in term of n. Okay, boleh? Okay, next B. Okay, look at the story of this question. N varies directly as the cube root of n. Cube root adalah punca kuasa 3. Okay, ingat dia akan describe dulu dia punya sifat of n. Contoh, kalau n square, usually it will tell you square of n. Contoh macam Cikgu Haizam, cikgu yang comel Haizam, macam tu. Si comel Haizam. Contoh, dia akan describe dulu apa kita punya kriteria lah. So the cube root of n. So n itu punca kuasa 3. Kalau saya kata square of x, so maksudnya x square. Boleh contoh tadi Haizam, si comel Haizam, maksudnya Haizam comel. Macam tu lah. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is change this form into equation form. So you will get m is equals to k cube root of n. Next, awak kena cari nilai k itu dengan menggantikan m dan n tadilah. Okay, so m is 0.8 equals to k cube root of 0.125. So k is equals to 0.8 divided by cube root of 0.125. So press your calculator, you will get 1.6. Okay, so dapat nilai k, get the when you obtain the value of k, then substitute it back into the previous equation. So m is equals to 1.6 cube root of n. So that is your answer, m in term of n. Okay, boleh? Any question? Ada? Okay. So let's try example 5. Okay. So the extension of a spring x centimeter varies directly as the mass of the load w gram hanging on the string. Okay, it is given the extension of the spring is 3 centimeter when a load of 200 gram is hung on the string. Express x in term of w. Okay, so apa yang awak kena buat dahulu, okay, you need to write the information that you get from the question. So here you know that x varies directly as w. Okay, so you can write it as x varies directly as w. Boleh? But you know that x itu adalah panjang dia, w adalah weight dia. Okay, so this is the first form. So the next form you need to change into equation form. Okay, so x is equals to kw. Okay, when you already convert into this form with k inside, okay, you need to find the value of k first. Okay, so how can you find the value of k? You can use this information, 3 and 200 gram. Okay, so x is 3 is equals to k times 200. So k is equals to 3 over 200 okay, your answer is 0.015. Okay, and then you change the value of k into the previous equation. So x is equals to 0.015 W. So that is your answer. Simple kan? Mudah saja. So from the relation form, change into equation form, tukar yang ada k, and then find the value of k, then substitute back the value of k into the previous equation. Simple saja, tak susah. Okay, next example 6. Okay, it is given that y varies directly. Varies directly. Dia dah kata situ kan. So you can write it as y varies directly as x. If y equals to 0.14 when x equals to 0.2, okay, usually this part, bukan usually lah, sememang-memangnya, this part is used to find the value of k. Boleh? Okay, so try to solve the first question. Okay, so we know that, okay, before that, okay, y is equals to kx. So to get the value of k, use the given information. So y is 0.14 equals to k 0.2. So k is equals to 0.14 divided by 0.2. So press your calculator, you will get 0.7. So you know that y is equals to 0. Y is equals to saya habis bateri pula. Pensel ni biasalah, Apple pencil ni kena selalu charge kan. Sekejap ya. Okay, so y is equals to 0.7x. So settle first part. Okay, so baru kita gunakan untuk jawab A. Okay, so dia kata find the value of y when x equals to 5. Tukar je lah. So when x equals to 5, so y is equals to 0.7 times 5. Tekan calculator, awak akan dapat 3.5. Okay, next B. Find the value of x when y equals to 0.875. So 0.875 is equals to 0.7x. So x is equals to 0.875 divided by 0.7. So jawapan kita adalah 1.25. Boleh? Macam tu saja kan? Senang saja, tak susah pun. Okay. Okay, next. Okay, kita tengok example 7. Okay, example 7, the area L centimeter square of a semicircle varies directly as the square of its diameter D. It is given that the area of the semicircle is 3.08 centimeter square when the diameter is 2.8 centimeter. Calculate the value of D when L is equals to 19.25. Okay. So, macam mana kita nak buat soalan ini? Okay, sama juga. Okay, given that the diameter is 2.8, the area is 3.08. Given the area is 19.25, you need to find the diameter. Okay, so how to solve this problem? Okay, so sama. Kita tahu L is varies directly as the square of its diameter. Square of diameter, so D square. Dia akan describe dulu sifat benda tu. Okay. So change into equation form, we get L is equals to KD square. Next, find the value of K. Okay, by using the given information. Okay, so kita ada L is 3.08 is equals to K, diameter is 2.8 square. Okay, so K is equals to 3.08 divided by 2.8 square. Okay, so press your calculator. So K is equals to 11 over 28. Okay, so we know that L is equals to 11 over 28 D square. Okay, so dah dapat general equation ni, barulah kita boleh cari the next question tu. Okay, so dia nak apa? Calculate the value of D, okay, when L is equals to 19.25. So just substitute that value into our equation. So L is 19.25 is equals to 11 over 28 D square. So nak cari D square. Okay, so kita ada 19.25 times 28 divide by 11. Okay, and then nak cari D kena square root lah kan. Kena square root kan, dapatlah D. Okay, so D press your calculator. So D is actually square root of 49 is equals to 7. Okay, boleh Okay, actually this question you can also use alternative method, which is using ratios. Okay, so macam mana kita nak guna ratios, concept of proportion ratios. Okay, sekejap saya buka new page. Okay, so over here we know that, okay, L kita varies directly kan. Okay, so varies directly, so over lah. So over D square is equals to L over D square. So obviously lah, this is L1 D1, this is L2 D2. Okay, why divide sir? Kenapa divide? Ingat lagi tak? Do you still remember this example? This part, divide, you use the same concept. Okay, so we know that, okay, the first area is 3.08 divided by its diameter is 2.8 square, also equals to 19.25 over the diameter square. Kita tak tahu. Okay, so macam biasalah, algebra, okay, kita pusing-pusing. So D square is equals to 19.25 over 3.08 times 2.8 square. Okay, so D square, okay, yang ini if you press your calculator you will get 49. Okay, tapi soalan nak D. So D is equals to square root of 49. It is equals to 7. Boleh? Mudah saja. Okay, so the same thing goes with example 8. Okay, so saya nak awak cuba sendirilah example 8. Okay, the answer you can refer your textbook. Okay. Okay, so for today's homework, okay, so I want you to try number 1, okay, self-practice 1.1b, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, and number 7. Ada lagi tak? Okay, number 8, number 9. Nak buat semula all 9 question. Okay. Okay, so we will discuss each and every question in the next class. Okay, so for this first class, kita dah cover direct variation. Okay, so for the next class, selepas discussion nanti, kita akan tengok joint variation. Okay, boleh? So if you have any question, you can ask in the comment down below, or you can ask in the Telegram group. Okay, so me or your class teacher will entertain you over there. Okay, so I hope you understand this first part of chapter 1, direct variation. Okay, I hope you can do your homework, okay, that I just gave you just now, in order for you to know, okay, whether you understand or not this chapter. Okay, I want you to know that this first chapter is quite easy. Okay, it's direct straight to the point. Okay, you can just answer it right away. It's so simple. This first chapter variation is so simple, okay, which means you cannot get it wrong in your exam. Okay, so I think that's all for today. So see you next class. Thank you very much. Bye.